Hey, what's going on? It's Kyle Henderson of BAMA Football on YouTube, coming to you from Raymond James Stadium following Alabama's 17-3 victory over South Florida. I'm going to get right to it. The quarterbacks after 3 games, JALEN, MILROE, Ty Simpson, and Buckner. I think going into this pivotal game to start SEC, you got to go with JALEN MILROE. I think he gives Alabama the best chance to win. Look, Ty Simpson did a good job managing the game. Coach SABAN talked about him managing the game against South Florida. I just don't think that he has enough experience just yet to lead this team. I don't think that he has enough pocket presence to lead this team. Now, the highlight of tonight was his 45-yard connection with C.J. Dupree. I thought it was a really well-placed football. I thought the offensive line did a better job in the second half, more importantly in the fourth quarter when Alabama needed to grind it out, and they provided a little bit better protection. But look, this offensive line is not what we're accustomed to. Now, I get it. Tyler Booker didn't play tonight. He had some back spasms. That's according to Coach Saban. And Coach Saban said that Tyler Booker does add confidence to Caden Proctor. But let's face it, Caden Proctor is having a very difficult time through 3 games. And I think if I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm going right at Caden Proctor. I'm coming up with exotic blitzes to get to the quarterback, whoever that is going to be. Let me ask you a question. Going into this game against Ole Miss, who's starting at quarterback and why? I want to hear from you inside the comment box. And who gives Alabama the best chance to win? Now, we didn't get to see true freshman Dylan Lonergan. We haven't seen him yet. But through the 3 quarterbacks that we've seen, I think it's JALEN MILROE. I think he has an ability to be a playmaker. And I think come SEC time, you got to go with MILROE. That's going to be up to Saban. Let me ask you this. Do you think Ty Simpson is talented enough to lead this team to a SEC championship, to lead this team past Ole Miss, to lead this team past an LSU on the road against Texas A&M? Honestly, those are questions worth thinking about. I did like the play of the running backs tonight. Jace McClellan continues to run really hard. Roydell Williams ran great in the fourth quarter, over 100 yards. That was the first time this season that Alabama has had a running back eclipse the 100-yard mark. He's big time. I think you need to feed those guys. And I think you need to play to those strengths. But Alabama's offensive line, and I know we're spending a lot of time on the offensive line and the offense, but rightfully so, and I still don't feel that this team has an identity, right? I don't. I really don't. And that's concerning going into a game against Lane Kiffin where you know that game could get squirrely. They have the talent to beat Alabama, 100%. Now, on the defensive side, I did see some good things. To credit South Florida, their quarterback's a baller. He ran. Alex Gollish, he's played Alabama well 2 consecutive years. He did a good job tonight going up against Alabama, a much more talented team. With 4 and 5 stars, this guy's playing with 3 stars. I mean, he was outmanned, but they did a great job keeping this game tight. They had the momentum most of this game. The fans were fired up. They're unranked. This is not supposed to happen. This is not the standard. This team needs to get it in gear going into SEC play, or they will be beaten by Lane Kiffin, another former assistant. You also have Pete Golding. Those coaches know what it takes to play at Bryant-Denny Stadium. They have the right psychological disposition to play against Nick Saban. They feel that Alabama is vulnerable, and quite frankly, they are. Saw even A.J. McCarron was calling for Ty Simpson when Buckner was in at quarterback. I didn't anticipate Buckner to play so poorly. You know, that was on him. He didn't make the throws. And I think it's a 2-horse race right now at the quarterback position. But going forward, you need to play the guy that gives you the best chance to win, and I certainly think that's JALEN MILROE. I want to hear from you inside the comment box about the quarterback position and about this team overall. What are the bright spots? I will continue to harp on this fact. Will Riker, James Burnett, playing at a very high level. The special teams is doing a great job. James Burnett, one of the top punters in the country, honestly. He's doing such a great job in that aspect. And Will Riker, he's money. Alabama closed out this game. They dial back in. They finish out strong. I do think they have momentum going into this next game against Ole Miss. You're going to hear the outside noise that Alabama isn't what Alabama is. And to some extent, that's true. But this is a long season. And I think they did take a step forward, if you will. It might have been a small step forward, but I think they did. And they need to fix that offensive line because that's probably the most concerning part of this overall team after the quarterback play. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, the pressure. I will say this. Coach Saban did say that South Florida was sending a bunch of exotic blitzes, probably more than he's ever seen from the defensive standpoint. Credit to South Florida, but look, this is South Florida. Alabama's a 31-point favorite, and they need to do better. The coaches need to do a better job preparing this team for this next week against Ole Miss, or Alabama will start off the season 0-1 in SEC play, and that will be their second loss of the season, promise you. It's Alabama has a gauntlet coming up. The SEC starts now. Got to dial in, got to turn it up. Coming to you from Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa, Florida, Kyle Henderson of BAMA Football on YouTube.